Hello and welcome to my easy leveling guide using Abberath's Hooves. This is going to be a guide explaining how to make Abberaths work for leveling. I will warn you that this method is not for new players. It's very expensive, especially if you do it very early on in the league. To get started, let's look at Abberath's Hooves. Abberath's Hooves are unique goat hide boots that deal an explosion every step that you take. And these explosions are affected by your spell modifiers, including support gems socketed into the boots. We're going to use added cold damage, added lightning damage, increased crits, and increased area of effect. We're also going to use a tabula rasa with both Herald of Thunder and Herald of Ice linked into it. And linked to Herald of Ice and Thunder, we're going to put increased crits, added cold, and added lightning damage in the tabula. For our weapons, we're going to dual wield Axiom Perpetuums. The Axioms will give flat damage to the Hooves, as well as give us spell crit chance. For our gloves, we're going to use Dwayne Dre's Tenor to give us increased spell damage. And for our rings, we're going to use 2 Barracks Grips. These rings will give us flat lightning damage and a bit of life leech. And of course for our helmet, we're going to use a gold rim for lots of elemental resistance. Now most of these items are very expensive, especially early on in the league. And if you do this early on in the league, you do run the risk of all of your items dropping in price significantly. So make sure you have enough currency to buy all of these items and buy the items you need for your regular build. Now that we have the items, let's go look at the skill tree. No matter what build you're going to build for late game, you're going to forget that tree and you're going to build life and spell crit. When you transition into your regular build, you're going to need to spend about 40 regret orbs depending on what build you're doing. So you're going to travel your skill tree into the Templar, Witch, and Shadow area. So you're going to focus on spell crit, spell damage, life, and elemental damage. If you don't follow a skill tree like this one, then your Abberaths are going to fall off late game and it's going to feel really bad. I wouldn't recommend playing Duelist or Marauder with Abberath's Hooves, but if you do, you're going to want to go through the Marauder area and get the life there. And now it's time for the gameplay walkthrough. All you do is walk through the enemies. That's literally all you do. You just walk right through them and they all explode. It's extremely satisfying and extremely fast. When killing normal enemies, you just walk past them and they explode. When you kill a boss, you just run around in a circle popping a Quicksilver and you kill them really fast. Also, when you're running through the game, you're going to want about 3 Quicksilvers. That's a lot of Quicksilvers, but you're going to need them all because all you're doing is running. And when you use this build, you're going to notice there's a lot of gem spots open. You can do whatever you want with these slots, but I found the most effective thing and most fitting thing is putting a bunch of cast on damage taken setups in there. With my cast on damage taken setups, I used a Mortal Call and a bunch of Firestorms. But you can use whatever spells you want. And now when should you transition into your regular build? It's generally dependent on what build you're doing. What you should do is pre-buy all your endgame gear, and then switch over when you can wear all of the gear. When you're done with your Abberath's gear, you could usually sell it again for a decent price, or you could just keep it and use it for another build later on. Now this leveling method is for leveling something fast that usually is a character that has a slow leveling process. You shouldn't do this for a build that has a fast early game such as Sunder Marauder. So Abberath's is for going fast early game for builds that usually aren't fast early game. That's the end of this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something, and subscribe if you want to watch more videos like this one.